Hello there, and welcome to my channel, Novice Modelling in a Midlife Crisis. My name is Andy, and welcome to Spitfires on Saturday, where we're going to be having a look at one of my many Spitfires over the coming weeks on a Saturday. This is What's in the Box 304, so it's basically a kit review. And I thought I'd pick this one out today because I think you can agree it's one of the, it's a very pretty box art of a blue MK.19 photo reconnaissance Spitfire with no branding on it, it's just the aircraft. So, who's it by? This is by Fujimi, and it is kit number 72132, and it's titled the Blue Invader Spitfire Photo Reconnaissance PR MK.19. God damn it, that is gorgeous. It's a pretty nice kit as well, so stick around. So let's have a look at the history of this kit and how I came about it, because I've got to talk about something. It's a new tooling from 1993, so it's 30 odd years old, and believe me, it's blinking well nice for something that's that old. There's been various releasings of this by Fujimi in 1994, 1995, 1997, 2000, 2002, which was when this one was released, 2004, and then there was a big gap to 2015. They were all different, slightly different variants and slightly different colourings with different decals, but it's all the same basic kit. Now, I paid £13 for this back over a year ago, I think, and it's been languishing in my collection of 40 odd Spitfires ever since. And I had a quick look on eBay today to see if I could find another one, and I kind of struggled. I found one in the United States on Buy It Now for $11.94, so if you live in the US, $11.94 is a good deal, believe you me. And I found a couple that have been sold recently, which made me feel a bit sad because it seems that I paid over the odds. One in August went for £8.95 plus P&P, and one in July went for £2.44 plus P&P. £2.44, that's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm going to stop blabbering on now. I'm going to show you this rather nice kit. I don't really know much about Fujimi. I've not really, this is the only kit of theirs that I've got. But I'm thinking at the time, they were cutting edge, because this is nice, in my humble opinion. Did you get that? So here we have the wing section, which we'll start on. I remember this is 1993, 30 years ago. And as we can see, this is a clipped wing version, where you can put the wing tips on. And look at the nice detail that's on that. Got all those little access points and all those panel lines, obviously, but I mean, we've got extra line on the aileron here, which I haven't seen very often. We've got a load of really deep detail on the hinges. Look at all those rivet marks and access points. Look at all that there. That's gorgeous. We can see here we've got some cutout sections where you can easily drill these out for various marks. So I'm guessing these are for photo reconnaissance windows. We've got a couple of spaces here for ventilation, or air vents, or whatever you want to call them. And that's just a really nice, clean looking kit from 30 years ago. It's got all the mounting points in there. You can see we've got some mounting points here to be drilled through onto the exterior surface if required. Not required on this one. I'm guessing these are some sort of bomb rack or exterior fuel tank, which I do have an exterior fuel tank, so maybe they're for them, not sure. Let's have a look at the upper wing surface. Loads of detail. Doesn't look too heavy, just looks nice, I think. Got a couple of engine exhaust manifolds here. I don't know what that is. These are little bomb mounting points, which we don't actually need. Here's one side of the fuselage, giving you a running gate. Look at that. We've got loads of detail. Loads of detail. You can see it's kind of an interesting construction as well, because obviously we've got the whole engine covering missing. But we've also got various sections missing at the bottom here and at the top. And I'm kind of thinking, correct me if I'm wrong, that this is to try and alleviate seam lines, because obviously quite often you'll get seam lines at the top here which are quite unsightly unless you really know what you're doing, and these seam lines on the sides here seem to follow that panel line there, so it's a way of sort of putting the seam in a more inconspicuous area. Oh, I like that word. I managed to spit it out right as well. So at the front here again, we can see we've got loads of rivet marks down the sides of the wings. This is well nice. Got the fuel drop tank. What the hell's that part there? A little bit of flash, forget about that. I'm not sure what that is. Does that go on top there? No, I don't know what that part is. We'll have a look in the instructions. There's some quite nicely detailed undercarriage struts. Don't know what that is. There's our wheel spats. You can see we've got some little detail on those as well. It's on the flip side. Nothing much going on the other side though. Okay, can't win them all. Nice big spinner. We can see here we've got the spinner mounting for our 5-bladed propeller. Got a very basic seat. Don't know what those parts are. And there's our 5 propeller blades. I think that's about it for that part. There's no detail on the interior though. I mean, I suppose that's the only thing that's really kind of holding this back. I know a lot of people like interior detail. I'm not really that fussed myself, but whatever. We've got a mounting points here for cockpit console display, obviously. Yeah. So there's our other section of fuselage, which is just a repeat of the other one, but let's just look at it again because all its gorgeousness. There's tons of detail on that. We've got a cockpit console display, which is a lot better than average for the era, I think. A couple of wheels, double-sided, don't need gluing together. Not too sure what those 4 parts are. There's our tail section. Very nice. There are little intakes. Again, more detail than normal, I think. There's the engine cowling or cover, and again we've got loads of detail on that. I don't think I've ever seen a kit, not that I've looked at all of my Spitfires so far, with those markings along the sides there. Might be specific to the PR19, Mark 19 obviously, I don't know. So that's our top part of the fuselage, which is going to go along here. So it's not going to give us a seam line right across the top. Nice. Don't know what those parts are. Moving on swiftly to our clear plastic sprue section. So there's our cockpit cover. There's our sight for painting. Not too sure what that is. And we have a whole section of little windows here for drilling out. There's another one here as well I forgot to mention. Where is it? There it is there. See that for drilling out there for our camera little windows. Yeah, nice. Decals. Nice set of Fujimi decals. They're looking good, Nick, with I think there's 3 variants you can do this up. Got a nice cockpit console display there and a whole load of stencil warning lines, etc, etc, which I tend to lose. Let's have a look at this, the instructions for this blue invading beast. So that's what that part is. That's the base where our cockpit interior goes into. It's a very basic cockpit interior. We've got a stick there somewhere, I don't see that. And we've got the seat in section 1. Section 2 is our 5-bladed propeller and spinner going together. Then you can see in section 3 we're putting the fuselage together. And you can see here, where am I? where we're going to have to drill out this little hole here to put our little window in for a camera. You get the camera as well, look at that. That's what one of those little clear pieces was. Where's that little piece there? Is it that one? I don't know, which part is that? Hang on, I'm going to go and find that. That's that little piece there, that's the camera. So they even put a camera in. I've never seen a camera in one of these before, that's cool. Okay, so we got the camera, so we got our cockpit control display with the gun sight going in. Paint on the inside. There's our engine cover going together. There's a spinner going on. There's our top piece with our canopy. That's all 4. So there's 5, so again you can see. And we've got more little cameras here, so we've got more little cameras to put over the windows, which we drill out at the bottom here. That's really cool. I've never seen that before. That's awesome. I've seen these little windows, but I've never seen them bother to put a camera in there as well. That's really cool. I like that. I'm not really into interior sort of detail, but that's really interesting. So there we have our wingtips going on and the base of the wing going on to the fuselage. And there's number 7 moving on to the undercarriage. 8 moving on to our little air intakes. There's an air intake scoop for underneath the engine by the look of it. And there we go, putting the other stuff on the bottom. And there's our drop tank, central drop tank going in. Pitot tube. It's a really cool little kit that. I mean, I don't know who got that for $244, but that's a bargain. Marking and painting, so we've got number 682 Squadron, Italy, early 1945. So that's that option, which is the one shown on the box, RM645. Then we have PM655, Photographic Reconnaissance Development Unit, Benson, England, 1947-48, so that's post-war. And then we have 541 Squadron, Benson, England, late 1944, with some D-Day stripes by the look of it. I think I'm going to have to go for all the plain blue, to be honest with you. That just looks frigging awesome. Get a, what's that? It's the sprue diagram. There's no actual particularly interesting information on here, but I've reached the 12 minutes just waxing lyrical about this kit already. Though if there was, I'd be getting boring, because I don't like doing videos too much over 12 minutes. So I think that, for 13 quid that I paid, is really nice. And I've had a look online, and there's a whole load of Spitfires in the UK available by Fujimi, but I'm not seeing this one available at the moment. So I'd kind of highly recommend having a look at one of these, because I reckon at the time, 1993, when this came out, this was primo. And I think now that stands up against most of the 172 Spitfires that I've looked at, apart from the lack of any interior detail. But this is blue. Look at that. That's hot. So okay, thanks very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe and check out some of our other fascinating and amazing videos. This was What's in the Box number 304. So yes, there's 303 other What's in the Boxes you can go and have a look at. Part of my ever-growing stash of 800 plus something kits. So we've got a few more to do. A couple more. 500. So thanks very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up and a like or a comment. I always reply to comments as well. I'll try to. So as always, be seeing you, and check out Fujimi.